Hey everybody, Michelle is back again. And I want to touch on something a little uh, thought provoking, possibly, hopefully, you know. Um, and I want to talk about something that I want people to consider. Just consider this for a moment. Do what you want with this information. I mean, you know, again, that's all I'm doing and others are doing. We're just giving you information, but you are required to be responsible for your thoughts and your behavior on information you receive, not the other way around. All right, so in this, so a lot of people are under the illusion and the belief that there are only certain factors of people, mostly white males, who are considered scholars, you know, that have this advanced knowledge, Einstein. I mean, the list can go on and on and on, you know, about these so-called great white men, because they usually were white men who were just, these philosophers, these pioneers, these forefathers, these original males of the creation of America and blah, blah, blah. According to history. Now, if you're thinking clearly and effectively, now we're basing all of this on history, right? Because none of us supposedly we weren't there. Okay, let's just be obvious. I mean, make that clear. We weren't. I mean, I'm here right now in 2023. Okay, I wasn't around as Michelle in 1800s, 1700s, 1600s. You know what I'm saying. Okay, now, but everything that happened then is happening now, but in a different form. It's a different because of our consciousness and our evolution. Even though we don't focus on our consciousness and the fact that we are evolving, it's happening. Just So now in that process of history, so to speak, everything is stored forever. Where? It's called the storage banks. And people used to call them, I can't remember, it started with an A, but they're called storage banks. Okay? So storage banks, that's very clear what a storage bank does, right? It stores information. Okay? And every planet has it. Okay? The moon has it. Mars has it. They are called storage banks. And what that means is every thought, feeling, emotion, behavior of every one of us on this planet, all 10 billion of us, is stored in storage banks. All of our information. Okay, and it stays there forever. Okay, it cannot be banned, it cannot be eroded, and it cannot be erased. Now, consider this for a moment, right? Again, we love to quote people. We love to quote people because I think we are under the illusion and belief that makes us appear more than we are. I mean, honestly, why do we quote other people, especially people that are no longer here? Because, we love to, again, throw certain people on pedestals when they're dead and they're not here anymore. But when they were here and thriving and striving and attempting to get your attention, you ignored them. You disregarded them. You wanted to kill them because of the information they were providing you or providing the community. So, back to the storage banks. So, and it ties in quite beautifully with what we're going on right now. Because every generation, every personality, will go through this, where you have a group of people. It's always a group of people attempting to rewrite history. And that happens all the time. So now think about what's happening now. You have a group of handful of people attempting to ban this, ban that, erase this, erase that, as if it never, ever existed. Fortunately, all that behavior is stored forever and ever and ever in the storage banks. And unfortunately, we're not going to understand what that means right now. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. And so many people have attempted to get our attention and let us know how much harm we're doing with our thoughts and the power of our thoughts and what the effects have been because of our thoughts. Again, to be a human, it was a simple process. It was something simply provided with instructions. We came with instructions already within us as to what we're supposed to do. Okay, there were instructions inside of us, all of us, as to how to be a more humane human being. But no. Some of us were so superior and so knowledgeable that you thought you knew better and that you could rewrite history. Well, again, keep in mind, everything is stored forever in storage banks. Just like computers. Everybody's into computers. Think of it. You could think you think you're destroying hard drives. Clear out, delete. And does it really go away? And we know the answer to that. Now, to those individuals or groups who are attempting to rewrite history via distorting it, manipulating it, keep in mind, all of that is stored forever in the storage banks. And guess what? And guess what else is stored forever? Your behaviors, your thoughts are stored forever in your subconscious. Meaning, your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, your behaviors are stored forever in your subconscious. And at some point, you're going to have to deal with some of the effects of your behavior, especially if they were not neutralized, meaning the positive and the negative behaviors were not neutralized, and not being extreme on one end and being so radical on another, and so forth and so on. Again, as human beings, it was a simple process that we had to do. But we complicated everything to the fact of where we are potentially eliminating every natural resource on this planet, to where people are just not going to be able to cope, and they're not going to be able to survive. Okay, so to those of you, whether you're in your little secret chambers and your little secret hideaways, in your attempt to erase, ban, distort history, it's done in vain. And you'll have to reap what you've sown at some point. Because there's another topic that a lot of people do not want to accept. And that's fine. You don't have to accept nothing coming out of my mouth. Trust. But I know, deep down inside, because you're a human being, with instructions already were provided within you. So there's no way that you can even take out and erase your history, your behaviors, your thoughts and feelings. Even if you attempted to. You won't be able to. Your conscience won't let you. Your conscience. As they say, let your conscience be your guide. Well, how many people have done that? All you have to do is look at the results and look around at the results, and you can answer that as well. Everything's simple. We're the ones complicating things. Okay. So I can guarantee you, and it doesn't really matter at this point, there are many, 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 many other highly functioning generational forces of women who were pioneers as well, highly functioning scientific people, philosophers, and some of these people that we love so much, Einstein, Socrates, Plato. I can guarantee you they had a woman nearby as well in those circles discussing these matters as well. But in an attempt on a handful of people usually to rewrite history, these people were eliminated from discussion, eliminated from books, banned. But again, that all was done it was all done in vain, because everything is stored in storage banks of every planet. So what's going to happen eventually is that you're going to have to reap what you've sown. Now, whether it's as a personality that you are now or a personality that you reincarnate to, because we do reincarnate. Let's not kid ourselves as well on that matter. Okay, go out in nature. Take a look at the trees and watch how they change from season to season. That's called reincarnating right there. They're reincarnating. We do the same thing. Okay, and what animals do, they reincarnate. But keep in mind, animals reincarnate and they become stronger based on the environment, based on the climate. So they get stronger as they evolve physically and instinctually. So that makes them dangerous as they continue to evolve. Like the birds, whatever. Think about it. Consider it. And as human beings, we evolve as well. And however, we evolve higher in our consciousness to where we are expanding, our realities of our humaneness, really. Whereas, we become the AIs. If we had been paying attention, we could have been the AIs we so-called fascinated about. We could have been all over the universe, all over the planet, visiting other places and things. That's the stuff we fantasize about. The Star Treks. We could have been those people. We could have been on these spaceships everybody wants to be on, trying to escape somewhere. I don't know if that's escape. I say it as adventure. We all could have been there, But yet we put all our focus into, harming people, disregarding people, eroding the environment, inside and out, massive overpopulation in certain regions, and just not really thinking about the big picture of that we had instructions already provided to us within us via our instinct and gut and our consciousness, and we had teachers along the way that did everything in their power to tell us that, but no, we didn't want to hear it. So, reap what you've sown, cause and effect is done. The results speak for themselves. So I know I'm taking this into another realm of opinion, but consider it. especially the intellectuals, you know, the young intellectuals, just because we're not represented, like black women, women of color, uh, lesbians, those that, identify, choose their own identity, representation, even though that's not represented sometimes, but it's there. We've always existed. It's just people attempt to ban us. They attempt to erase us. They attempt to erode us, and it's all done in vain, unfortunately. However, so you just have to always know that you're represented. No matter what, you will always be represented and considered to matter and considered as important. And you don't need to have other groups of people tell you that anyway. You should know that. And I think a lot of you know a lot, but you don't want to talk about it. And I don't blame you. You don't need to. You don't need to talk about a lot of stuff, such as reincarnation, storage banks, all that. You don't need to be talking about that in a group of people, or just meditate on it. Know it exists. Know it's real, and know the power of your thoughts, because that's where it starts. It starts with your thoughts and how your thoughts shape the environment, the universe. Now, imagine what you're thinking about. And again, all that's stored. And think about what 10 billions of other people are thinking about. And all of that is stored as well. So all of that is stored together. And do you understand why we have the chaos we have? Why we don't come together? Because people lie about their intentions. They present something to you, but you don't know what they're thinking about. Okay, but it is stored, and they know what they're thinking about, and they think that you don't know. And the point of the matter is, all of us are going to be reaping what we've sown, because our storage banks are going to remind us. Our subconscious mind is going to remind us each and every time about what we've done via our behavior, and the steps we need to take to resolve ourselves and neutralize ourselves and neutralize our thoughts and feelings and emotions. So this is a little heady, it could be a little heady subject for some that have not heard these things said. And that's fine. You don't need to, it's not anything to be concerned about. It is something to meditate. I strongly recommend meditation. I strongly recommend it. And meditation is not prayer. Okay. Meditation is no thought, or an observed point of thought, or observed object. Just research it and do your homework, because that is what started me, and it saved my life. And I was in my young 20s when I discovered meditation, and it saved my life. And enhance my awareness to where I could pay attention, because I wasn't good at paying attention sometimes. Because my visual, I was, being a strong visual type, I was just stimulated with so much visual stuff going on around me. Sometimes I wasn't paying attention via hearing and paying attention to my feelings, and stuff like that comes along with it. You have to have it all incorporated within you. The sensing and receiving of information. It's all, like I said, instructions are already provided within you to be an effective, humane human being. And, so, consider that. Trust yourself. Love yourself. And don't worry about if people like you or not, because they won't. They won't like you because they just people don't want to like anybody. They want to find fault in everybody. And they want to find somebody they want to argue with, so that they don't have to deal with what they are conscious is telling them, what their subconscious is attempting to relate to them. And so they try to deflect it off on everybody else and say that they're the problem. That's the problem. You're the problem, So it doesn't work that way. And, time will reveal. Time will reveal. Peace and love, and have a lovely day. Talk to you soon.